זוהר, פרשת חוקת ליום ראשון. ותנה מותה אלעזר, מצוותה בסגן. We are talking here about the para aduma, the red heifer, right? And the mitzvah of all that had to be done with the red heifer was not done by Aaron, but by Elazar, which was like his assistant. So the question is, why is it to Elazar and not to Aaron? Aaron שושנה דמתכוניתה. ועוד אהרון לא עטה מסתך דטהור, אלא מסתך דקדוש, בגין דדה עטיה לטהרה, להתייהיב לה. He says because Aaron is like the one that accompanies with the queen. What does that mean with the queen? The queen is the Shekhinah, of course, because the idea is that to help to unite the queen and the king. So he is more for the union, whether the red heifer was to separate, her role was to separate the negative or the impurity from the person that had touched a dead person, right? So since his role was to unite and not to separate, then it was not to him to do this. And also, we say that Aaron was in the what we call Sad Akadosh, which means in the level of Kedusha, and which is different from the Tzad Ataor, which is the level of purity. See, so the level of sanctity and the level of purity is two different things. Why? Because you reach a level of sanctity, but a level of purity is only because you were impure before. So you were impure, then you reach a level of purity. But Aaron, of course, was above level of purity, was in the level of sanctity. And since the para aduma was more in the level to purify, right, which is correspond to Gevurah, then it was not Aaron that had to do that, right? Because Aaron was in a higher level. Il dit, כל מילה דהפרה היא בשבע, שבע כיבוסים וכולי. מה טעמה בגין דאי שבע שני שמיתה, ובת שבע יקחה, ועלדה עובדוי בשבע. Also, all that had to do with the para aduma was with the number 7. Like 7 times it had to be, aspergé. Sprinkled. Yeah, well, sprinkled 7 times. There's a lot of 7, and also we say the 7 years of before we get to the 7th is the year of the Shemitah. Right? There's a lot of times that is 7. Why? Because the Para Aduma is an allusion to the Sephirah Malchut. And Sephirah Malchut is the 7th Sephirot, if we start counting from Sephirat Chesed. And we say also that the Sephirah Malchut includes 7 Sephirot in her. Right? So this is why the similarity with the number 7 and the Para Aduma. דתחזה, כלומר להתעביד מהפרה בגין דדקה ולא דקדשה, ועל גב דתייהיב לסגן הוא לא שחית ולא שריף בגין דלה ישתכר דינה מסתחוי, וכל שכן אהרון דאיהו בדרגה שהם יתיר, דלבית שקירת המן, זה זמן תמן. It says, come and see all the acts that had to be done with this the red heifer were to purify, right, and not to sanctify, right? So the red heifer did not come to add sanctity, but to take out the impurity. And even that, since before it was sprinkled, the red heifer had to be you call it shachet, to be slaughtered. Had to be slaughtered and had to be burned, because what had to be what was important to get from the red heifer was the efer. Efer is the ashes, right? The ashes, that's what was sprinkled. So even to be slaughtered, this was done by a third person, because this is from the midah of Gevurah. And even Elazar was in a madriga, not of Gevurah, but in a higher madriga. So a third person had to slaughter and to burn the Par Aduma. And we'll see that later, even after what was left had to be taken outside, and was also but another person, not Elazar. Now, so if we say that Elazar could not slaughter, of course Aaron, which was even in a higher level, did not slaughter or burn the Par Aduma. And even when the Red Heifer was burned, we had to add what we call Etz Erez Ve'ezov. It's called Yisop. Yeah, I don't know exactly the name of this. Right. Yeah, Yisop and other things. And this was a big secret, and this secret is explained in the Zohar in Parashat Metzorah. Ve'asaf ish ta'or ve'la kadosh. And after it says that a man which was pure had to take what was left, right, and bring it outside in a place that was pure. It says here, if it says pure, that means it was impure before, right? So a place that was already purified from its impurities, it's there that this man had to take the rest of the paraduma. Zadekolai dertiv lebenida chatati begin de choltinin tadain la cholin tarik besitcha de mesava kadihi enaka besitcha achara ויתיבה בדינה כיוון יתמה מראה חודשנה בחלב כדי כולו מתארם מסדקם שרן ועלמה. It says here there's a very big secret. It says that this paraduma is compared to what we call menida, which is the when the woman is in her cycle, and of course all the blood which is impure, that we're not allowed to have any relationship with her or even to touch her, right? It says this, the comparison is with the origin of this negative force. What is negative force? This negative force goes all the way up and nourishes itself from the lower levels of the Sefirah Malchut, right? And from there it takes its chayut, its livelihood if we want, and then it gets its power to come and do bad things here. So by sprinkling the person with the ash of the red heifer, in reality something else happened on top. I mean, the same way that person is going to get purified, this gesture of sprinkling this the ashes did the same effect in the Sefirah Malchut above. And what does it do? Is that this purification, in a way, that we are adding or that we are helping to be thrown to this person that needed to be purified, the same thing, these negative forces detach themselves from the Sefirah Malchut. Okay? So this is what's similar. The ash is thrown on the person, the impurity force is pushed away. The same thing above, among the Sefirah Malchut, all this negative force that taking its powers and its force from the Sefirah Malchut is pushed away. And since it's pushed away, it has no more power. So the same thing, what inhabited this negative force in that man was also weakened and pushed away. So what we learn here is something very important, is that all the negative things that are here, all the negative force, they're only here because they are also above. When they are above, they get their power, and then they can act here. So what is our role, of course, is when we do the mitzvah of the Torah, is not to do anything to these negative forces, but to do what on top. To the tefillot and mitzvah go above, and what they have an effect is that they push away the negative force from the Sefirah Malchut, and then here they are going to be weakened. You see? So it's the other way. So we have, of course, no power here. We cannot do nothing to them because they're much more powerful than us. We can do nothing. But the Torah, the koach of the Torah is that it gives us the possibility to do something there. I mean, from the shoresh, and from there it is weakened. It's like if you had something, you see, let's say you have a gas, that's starts spreading in a big room. So everybody is going to get sick. So you can do two things. You think, oh, you know what? I'm going to put the spray, and I'm going to take this gas and try to put it out. But no, what you can do better is if you know where it comes from and you close that faucet, right? If you close the faucet, then for sure it's going to stop. But you have to know where the faucet is. If you don't know, then it'll keep on coming. Same thing, negative force. It's there that we have to act, and this is the koach of the mitzvot and the Torah. מכיוון דעבדי עובדה לסתר, ועולה דינה ואתר, דאי הפרה לרמן אלה עץ ארז וכולי, כדי נתחלה שחילה ודהון, like he says here. That's why they have to do this at the para aduma, right? Because this was taking out the koach of this negative force that was getting its chayut from above. דארילה דהון התחזו בכוונה לגביהו כדין לה שרן ברנה דקאי ועדה יקרא מנידה מידי דקה כאן עלמה שרי ודינה פיתחה מסעבה את פרשת ועלמה. It's like we said, okay, that's what it's called menida, okay, because this purification that was done, right, is to stop not only the impurity on this person, but from on the whole world here, because we attacked, we how do we say that, we weakened its power from its source. He says that's why in the Torah, if we see, there's a lot of times what is pure and impure, right? There's always impurities and purities. You get impure by doing this, you get pure by doing that. And the idea, and this is a secret of all these things, is that it's not just the impurity that we have here in our bodies and in our soul, but this impurity is how we reinforce them when we do negative force there, right? Or we weaken them when we do positive acts here. Amen.